Hey everybody, PKO Gamer here, and I haven't done a video in a while. So I was going to talk about some stuff I found online. Very interesting stuff that, there's not been a lot to talk about recently, at least for me. And this is from BGR. And there's been rumors, like every time I go out there and I type in something to look at the PS5, right? I type in something, I look at there, I was like, hey, let's take a look at what PS5 information is going on. And guess what I find? More information is talking about, yeah, you're right. There is like more rumors that a Lockhart system is coming out and a PS5 Pro is coming out. Yeah, you heard me right. PS5 Pro. And let me give you a look over here real quick. This is from BGR. Forget the PS5. Microsoft might soon unveil the cheap new Xbox. Microsoft is already 2 steps ahead of Sony when it comes to new console announcements, and the latter is yet to respond in any way, which is talking about, of course, good old Sony. Microsoft hijacked the Game Wars, blah, blah, blah. Let me see, where's it down? But forget about Sony for a second. There's a new Xbox rumor in town. Microsoft might soon unveil the cheap Xbox Series X version, and the model many people might end up buying later this year. That's the Xbox Lockhart model that was featured in some reports in the past, which might very well end up being the Series S. Alright, let's take a look at this. This is some tweets out there. Hearing that Microsoft will share Lockhart details for the first time soon should give insight Xbox's multiple SKU approaches. Remember, this is the console with the 4 teraflop GPUs and CPU and all that information, all that good stuff. And it's a little bit, this is around $300. That's, again, take that for what it's worth. This device will deliver half the performance of the Series X at 4 teraflops, which, again, I kind of doubt that it could do half the power because you're doing 4 versus 12, but those raw numbers don't always matter. Maybe much lower resolution, 1080 versus the 4K, it can do it. Apparently, the Series X would cost around $300, which, if real, would be a fantastic price for the console. Lewis Kirby, developer of Void 2D and Void 3D engines for both Xbox Series X, 10, and Switch, offered another detail about the Series S on Twitter, suggesting that the cheaper consoles will support 2564 resolution compared to the 4K that Series X is getting. Of course, I want to talk about him in just a second, but this is, however, just a rumor for the time being. We have no way of confirming anything. We'll have to wait for Microsoft to actually unveil the cheaper Series X. Well, mind you, that a report a few days ago did say that both Sony and Microsoft launched 2 new consoles this fall. That's just rumored. It'll be interesting to see. Okay, let's go down a rabbit hole this way. People are saying Lockhart will hold next gen back, but I don't think that's the case. It's not the case, not at all. Now, this image is kind of crap to me. Developing for the Series X, S, 2560 by 14480. Developed for the Series X is 3840 by 2160. So basically, what this guy is saying is that all you have to do is change the resolution, and I have to laugh at this whole thing. I didn't comment. I almost wanted to comment about it. It's like, dude, you may be a developer. This guy's a developer for, Series X, Windows 10, Nintendo Switch, these 2 engines. There's more to it than that. There's a lot more to it than teraflops and lowering the resolution. There's the size of the worlds. There's all these other bits and pieces that, you cannot just up and say that. Some people are just really weird. Hey, born distracted. I won't bother with the weaker versions. And see, that's the interesting tidbit. Like you're saying, you won't bother with the weaker versions. Okay. Why are there 2 versions to begin with? This is the problem that I have. We don't need this. This developer, no offense to Lewis Kirby, doesn't. I don't care he or she or they may develop, but they're saying that it's ridiculous that it's not going to hurt it. Of course it's going to hurt it. It's going to mean that an online game can't do exactly. Let me just get out of this. Sorry, folks. This is me. That an online game won't be able to do with half the power. Even if it is half the power, which I doubt a 4 teraflop versus a 12 teraflop big system can be half unless they scale everything back. You're not going to have these no restrictions on a game that comes out for a huge system. It has to be played online. It's like the newest Call of Duty, the newest Battlefield, the newest Battlefront games, whatever type, competitive online games are out there. The game cannot do something on this big 12 teraflop system with the draw distance, the amount of enemies on the screen, the frames per second, the field of view. Well, not the field of view, I'll take that back. But if somebody on the bigger system can see somebody further, then that's a problem. So yes, this Lewis Kirby and people don't get it. I don't care if they do develop. They don't fucking get it. Let's see here. What did you say? More distracted. The only way I can see someone buy a cheaper version if it has the same power but is diskless. I mean, let me just be honest here. I mean, if I was wanting to save money and get into a lower PS5, because I don't even have a 4K TV. I'm still 4K less in this house. I don't have a 4K TV. Thinking about getting one, but that doesn't drive me. So if they literally will make the games run on both, and that's where they're going forward, I will get a PS5 eventually. I might go for the cheaper one. Maybe. Then again, my geekness will kick in. I might just be like, no, fuck it. I'm just going to buy the bigger one and make sure it's future-proof. But this should not be the thing. This shouldn't be the thing at all. This is, again, going back to some of these articles here, this has popped up yet again. Lockhart was a thing. Lockhart was a thing, and now it's rumored to be unveiled soon. And there's this other article. Let me go over here. The PS5 and Xbox Series X would be even more expensive than you realize. For months now, we've been talking about the most important thing when it comes to upcoming video game console generation, the price. Both the PS5 and Xbox Series X will feature similar specs, and they're expected to have similar price tags. But that affordable performance that both Sony and Microsoft tease doesn't come cheap. You shouldn't expect the PS5 and Xbox to be as affordable as current versions. Reports say that $499 might be the best price for both devices, although neither Sony or Microsoft is willing to announce the price. But other rumors are saying that the best PS5 and Xbox 2020 Xbox version will cost well over $500, which cheaper versions will hit the sub $500 point. And that's what's going to be weird, is we may see $550, $599 systems for the high-end 12, 9, whatever teraflops, 4K, 8K, or 4K, 60, 120 frames per second, all this good shit. And then you might see the 1080/2K, which, I don't understand why the 2K is in there or whatever it is. And it's going to be like 300, 350, and it'll let you play them, but it'll let you play them lower. But again, it goes back to, what's clear. Let me look at some of this information here. What's clear is the Xbox Series X will support 4K 60 and 4K 120 frames, which require a TV monitor projector with support systems of HDMI 2.1. Well, if the lower ones don't support less, how is that going to affect games? I know I'm going round and round here, but it comes back to, again, more information just comes to show us that these consoles, and I'm shocked when I read the possibility that Sony's doing the same damn thing. I don't like that. Not one bit. I don't like it. It makes no sense that we have 4 potential console SKUs coming on the market. It doesn't make any sense, folks. I don't understand it. I just don't understand what's going on with Sony and Microsoft. I mean, I told myself this, that I'm out of getting any type of next gen. And I am out of it. And now the reports of fucking Lockhart and a cheaper PS5 so that you could pick your poison. All that money that goes into creating another box, another bit of, another system on a chip, or maybe it's the same system on a chip and it restricts it, or I don't know. Sometimes companies do that just to save money. Some of these chips that don't make it through the quality control, they become a lower version of an AMD or an NVIDIA chip. That's kind of, or even Intel, or, all this. This is the way it happens. But to have 4 potential new consoles come out, why is Microsoft and Sony wasting the money, the development, the production costs, the plastic, the silicon, all that stuff in there? Save all that damn money for these newer potential lower end systems, and you can knock out a great $499 or less price for these new systems. This makes no sense to me. I mean, I know it's just rumors, but there's something weird going on. Now, a lot of people have been putting on, tinfoil hats. I like RGT85's thought on how Sony's doing, because there's a lot of things changing at Sony and why they're keeping themselves quiet. But, I'm going to mention something at the end that me and Cyrus have been talking about. And yes, a video game virus will come out next week. We just haven't had a lot to talk about, but now there's more information to talk about. And there's one word everybody's talking about, and I'm not going to go into anything political, but the coronavirus is delaying the TurboGrafx 16 Mini. It is canceled South by Southwest, the Game Developers Conference, and what happens to these next-gen consoles due to production delays and things like that. But I'm still not talking about that right yet. I'm trying to talk about this, and I don't understand this. I don't understand what's going on, folks. I don't understand why we're seeing something like this. Because I don't see the benefit. I don't see the benefit of 4 devices, 2 Xboxes, 2 PlayStations sitting on the fucking shelves, and people are going out there going, which one do I buy? They'll end up, for a lot of people, unless they are the higher end techies that want everything, they'll just buy the fucking cheapest one. So what will happen when all this horsepower is not bought? What happens with all this horsepower is not bought is because people are trying to be frugal and budget friendly, and games don't advance the way they need to. This is why these systems should be focused on 2 versions, the Xbox and the PlayStation's greatest horsepower coming forward, like they've always done. But they're not. These rumors are showing us that consoles are turning into cell phones, or at least some of the attitude in them. You should not see Sony trying to bring out 2 versions of the PlayStation. You should not see Microsoft bring out 2 versions of the Xbox. This makes little to no sense to me. And to see that now we're hearing, Lockhart pop back up, and the new PlayStation one pop back up, or he pop up, and I'm going, wait, now Sony's really doing this? And I know I'm going in circles. I'm repeating myself. I'm flabbergasted, folks. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. And I got a few viewers here. I appreciate it. I know Born Distracted to talk with me in the discussions. There is the big topic of the coronavirus, and I'm not going to politicize it. I'm not going to talk about politics, but we could see the real world delay of things like E3, the delay of Sony and Microsoft even delivering their fucking consoles. If the TurboGrafx 16 Mini, $100 mini console based on the TurboGrafx 16, is delayed indefinitely, what makes you think that the supply chains from China won't affect the PS5 and the Xbox Series X? So there's a lot to talk about these things. And I know I'm ending this with another type of conversation, but I don't understand 2 Xboxes, 2 PlayStations, and I do think this is getting to the point that we're going to see consoles never be the same. Consoles, unless they're Nintendo, are not going to come out and be the same at all. I don't know what everybody thinks. I do appreciate Born Distracted for watching. Like I said, I hit it 15 minutes. I'm rambling here because this keeps shocking me of all the information coming out. Yeah, they're rumors. Yeah, you have all this other stuff, but you have now developers are speaking up, giving their 2 cents, and I don't understand what this means. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Like I said, I don't have anything else more to say. Like I've said, I'm going on here 16 minutes. I don't have a lot to say right now in the video game world, but we're starting to see more and more things explode with certain bits of information. The new consoles are coming. At least we hope they are, without any delays from the coronavirus. Me and Cyrus are going to talk about this next week. We're going to get more into it, so we'll talk about this. But I'd like to know what you guys think in the comments below. What do you think about all this, especially the Microsoft Lockhart discussions, the rumors, and the developers talking about it, and now, too many rumors, too many headaches. Yeah, you're right. It's just too many headaches. I agree with, but it's getting ridiculous with Microsoft and Sony doing this crap. Not only did they do the mid-cycle console upgrades that Cyrus and I didn't really agree with, of course, in the last iteration, of course, he got some, and there's nothing wrong with, like, say you can't get them, but they weren't really the best idea. And now we're seeing multiple versions come out day one. I don't understand it. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I do appreciate everybody watching, and talk to you guys later. PKO Gamer.